You asked them to play a part, but you didn't realize they'd be rehearsing their lines for years. The stalker is gone, but the pretend boyfriends are still holding your hand and wearing your jacket. Now you have to decide, was the fake relationship a shield, or was it the only thing standing between you and the truth you've been hiding? The guy had been following you for 3 days, not in an obvious horror movie way. He never grabbed you or said anything overtly threatening. He just appeared at the convenience store, near the dorms, leaning against the wall, outside your classroom building, sitting 2 tables behind you in the cafeteria, with his eyes fixed on the back of your head, like he was memorizing the shape of your skull. You tried ignoring him. That hadn't worked. You tried changing your route between classes. He adjusted. And so when you found yourself sitting, cross-legged on Bakugou's bed at 11 on a Thursday night, picking at the skin around your thumbnail, while he and Kirishima played some loud shooter on the TV across the room, you finally said it out loud. The only solution that came up in your mind that you've been thinking about for days. I need you two to pretend to be my boyfriends. The game paused. Both of them turned to look at you. Bakugou with his brow already furrowed, like you'd personally insulted his ancestors. Kirishima with his head tilted and a half-eaten bag of chips still in his hand. The hell kind of request is that? Bakugou said flatly. There's this guy. You started, and you told them all of it. The convenience store, the hallway, the cafeteria, the way he'd smiled at you yesterday. Not warmly, but like he was tasting something. Kirishima's easy expression shifted into something harder, his jaw tightening in that way. It did when he was genuinely angry, but trying not to show it. Which guy? Bakugou asked, and his voice had gone dangerously quiet. You knew that tone. It was the tone that preceded explosions, both literal and figurative. No, no. You held up both hands. I don't want you to fight him. I just want him to back off. If he thinks I'm taken, if he sees me with 2 people who look like they could actually end him, he'll lose interest. That's all I'm asking. Bakugou stared at you for a long, unreadable moment, and then he looked at Kirishima, and Kirishima looked back at him. Something passed between them that he couldn't quite name. One of those silent conversations that only 2 people who'd been inseparable since their first year could have. And then Kirishima smiled, wide and bright, and a little too sharp. Yeah, he said, we can do that. Fine, Bakugou added, like he was coasting him something. The next day, he spotted the guy the moment he stepped out of your morning lecture. He was there, leaning against the railing, near the shoe lockers, pretending to check his phone. Your stomach dropped the way it always did. Now, that cold, heavy feeling right behind your ribs. But then, a warm hand slid into yours from the left, and a solid arm draped across your shoulders from the right. Hey, babe, Kirishima said, loud enough for anyone nearby to hear, and squeezed your hand gently. His thumb traced a slow circle against your knuckles. Easy, natural, like he'd done it 1,000 times before. Bakugou said nothing. He didn't need to. His arm around your shoulder was possessive in a way that radiated outward, like heat from a furnace. He didn't even glance in the direction of the guy. He didn't have to. His mere presence, sharp jaw, dangerous eyes, the kind of coiled energy that made people step out of his path, said everything. He raised a glance toward the shoe lockers. The guy was watching. His expression had shifted from predatory, calm, to something uncertain, worry. Good. You walked past him without a glance, sandwiched between your two best friends, and for the first time in 3 days, the knot in your chest loosened. It worked. By the end of the day, the guy had stopped appearing in your line of sight entirely. You checked twice, once after lunch, once on the way back to the dorms. Nothing. Relief flooded through you so completely that you almost laughed. That night, you found them both in Kirishima's room, Bakugou on the floor, and Kirishima sprawled across the mattress. Okay, crisis averted. You guys can stop now. Kirishima hummed and didn't move. Bakugou didn't look up from his phone. Seriously, you said. He's gone. Thank you. But you don't have to keep. Keep what? Bakugou asked, still not looking up. You blinked. The boyfriend thing. What boyfriend thing? Kirishima asked innocently from the bed, and then reached down and tugged your hand, pulling you into the room. You stumbled forward and he caught you easily, guiding you down onto the mattress, beside him, like it was the most natural thing in the world. Come sit. You look tired. He opened your mouth, closed it, looked between them. You know what I mean. Do we? Bakugou said, and finally glanced up. His expression was perfectly, infuriatingly, neutral. The next morning, Kirishima walked you to class holding your hand, not casually, but fingers laced through yours, thumb still doing that slow, warm thing against your skin. In the hallway afterward, Bakugou fell to step beside you and dropped his jacket over your shoulders without a word, because you'd forgotten yours again. His hand found the small of your back, just briefly, and something about the way he did it made your breath catch in a way it hadn't before. You stopped walking, and they both stopped too, turning back to look at you. This isn't pretend anymore, is it? You asked quietly. Kirishima's smile softened into something real. He shrugged, but his eyes were steady. Was it ever? Bakugou just looked at you, jaw set, eyes burning with something he would never ever say out loud. But his hand stayed at the small of your back, and you understood. The stalker was gone, and these two were not going anywhere. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you like this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And goodbye.